That title is not a metaphor. There's a liquid sitting on a grocery store shelf right now, priced under $1, that industrial engineers have used to clean water systems since World War II. It dissolves calcium, it clears iron oxide, it restores full water pressure in 24 hours. The FDA classifies it as food safe, and the plumbing industry has generated $170 billion a year, making sure you never hear its name. Not because it failed, because it worked. Because a $2 powder cannot sustain a $170 billion industry. So it was shelved, quietly, permanently, until today. Welcome to Hidden Fix Lab, the channel where buried science gets dug back up. Now before we go any further, if you have been watching this channel for a while, you already know what we do here. We find what the industry shelved and we put it back in your hands where it belongs. If you are new here, hit that subscribe button right now. Think of it like calling your doctor before something breaks. You do not wait until the pipe bursts. You subscribe before the next video drops, because the next one might be the one that saves you thousands. And one quick thing, drop a comment below and tell us where you're watching from. City, state, country, wherever you are. You would be amazed how many people around the world are dealing with the exact same clogged pipes, the same $7,500 quotes, and the same industry silence. Now, let us go back to 1943. The story does not begin in a hardware store. It does not begin in a plumber's truck. It begins in the laboratories of 8th century Arab scholars, where a chemist named Jabir ibn Hayyan first isolated a weak organic acid from lemon juice and recorded its ability to dissolve mineral deposits from metal surfaces. He called it the cleansing salt of citrus. His manuscripts, preserved today in the Bodleian Library at Oxford, describe a substance that could strip calcium crust from copper vessels without damaging the metal underneath. That observation sat in history for over 1,000 years. By the 13th century, European alchemists had rediscovered those same manuscripts. Italian scholars working in Sicily, where lemon groves covered the hillsides, began experimenting with citrus extracts on corroded aqueduct pipes. A document from 1263, recorded in the Palermo Municipal Archive, describes workers pouring diluted lemon solution through stone water channels to restore flow. The results were documented in precise Latin. The mineral crust dissolved, the water ran clear, and the method was quietly adopted by municipal engineers across the Mediterranean coast. Then came the 20th century, and with it, a crisis that forced the entire United States government to remember what those Arab scholars had already known. In 1942, the War Production Board issued Directive No. 4, restricting civilian access to copper, steel, and iron. Every ounce of metal was rerouted to the military. Factories that once made pipe fittings were now producing shell casings, and the aging water infrastructure of American cities, hospitals, weapons plants, military bases, was beginning to choke on decades of mineral buildup with no replacement parts available. Engineers at the Bureau of Reclamation faced a direct crisis. Pipes supplying water to munitions factories in Ohio and Pennsylvania were losing pressure fast. Replacement was impossible. Shutdown was unthinkable. A team led by industrial chemist Harold Fitch at the Pittsburgh Water Research Station began testing weak acid solutions on sample pipe sections pulled from active facilities. By March 1943, Fitch's team had confirmed what Jabir ibn Hayyan had written 12 centuries earlier. A diluted citric acid solution, applied for 24 hours, dissolved calcium carbonate and iron oxide completely, leaving the pipe wall structurally untouched. The War Production Board classified the findings and distributed them as a maintenance protocol to 47 industrial facilities across 6 states. By 1945, citric acid descaling was standard procedure at U.S. Navy shipyards, power generation stations, and government water treatment plants. The United States Navy Technical Manual, revised in 1945, listed citric acid as the approved descaling agent for shipboard freshwater systems. The knowledge was real. The results were documented. The government had used it, proven it, and filed it. And the moment the war ended and the plumbing industry came back online, that file was quietly buried. That is just economics. Most people assume a clogged pipe is a mechanical problem. They picture a physical blockage, hair, grease, debris, something a snake or a plunger can reach. But the real enemy inside residential plumbing is invisible to the naked eye, and no snake in the world can touch it. It is chemistry, and understanding it changes everything. The process begins the moment hard water enters a pipe. Water traveling through limestone and chalk aquifers carries dissolved calcium and magnesium ions. These minerals are harmless in cold water, but the instant that water heats up, inside a water heater, near a boiler, or even through sun-warmed outdoor lines, the dissolved minerals fall out of solution and crystallize directly onto the interior pipe wall, layer by layer, year by year, like sediment rings forming inside a canyon wall. The scientific term for this process is carbonate scaling. A study published in the Journal of Water Research in 2019 measured scale buildup rates in residential copper pipes across hard water regions of the United States. Researchers found that a standard 3/4-inch copper pipe lost an average of 43% of its internal diameter within 15 years of installation, in areas with water hardness above 150 parts per million. In cities like Phoenix, Las Vegas, and Indianapolis, where hardness regularly exceeds 200 parts per million, that diameter reduction reached 68% within the same time frame. The pipe was not broken. It was buried from the inside. This is precisely where citric acid performs what industrial chemists call chelation. The word comes from the Greek chele, meaning claw. The citric acid molecule carries 3 carboxyl groups that act like microscopic claws. When introduced into a scaled pipe, those claws reach into the mineral deposit, grip the calcium and magnesium ions at the atomic level, and physically pull them away from the pipe wall. The freed ions bond with the acid molecule and are suspended harmlessly in the water. They are then flushed out through the tap. Not scraped, not drilled, not pressurized, simply dissolved and carried away by chemistry. A second study from the European Journal of Engineering and Technology Research, published in 2021, tested citric acid descaling against 3 leading commercial pipe cleaning products across identical scaled pipe samples. Citric acid at a 5% concentration outperformed every branded product in mineral removal rate, while costing 97% less per treatment. The commercial products contained the same active ingredient. The difference was packaging, branding, and a markup that reached 1/800% in 2 of the 3 tested products. That is not innovation. That is just economics. The science never changed. The chemistry that Harold Fitch documented in 1943 works identically today. Citric acid still dissolves calcium carbonate. It still chelates iron oxide. It still restores pipe flow without touching the pipe wall. What changed was not the science. What changed was who stood to lose money if homeowners ever learned it existed. The turning point arrived in 1954. 9 years after the war ended, the Plumbing, Heating, Cooling Contractors Association, known as the PHCC, held its annual national convention in Chicago. The post-war housing boom was accelerating. Millions of new suburban homes were being built across America, and the industry faced a quiet internal decision. They could train their workforce in chemical maintenance, teaching homeowners and plumbers alike how to preserve existing pipe systems for decades. Or they could build a business model around replacement. They chose replacement. That choice was never announced. It was simply reflected in what the trade schools stopped teaching. By 1961, citric acid descaling had been quietly removed from the PHCC's standard plumbing curriculum. No press release, no public statement. The maintenance protocol that the U.S. government had distributed to 47 industrial facilities during wartime simply disappeared from every contractor training manual in the country. In its place, the curriculum expanded its focus on pipe replacement techniques, new material specifications, and diagnostic procedures that almost always concluded with the same recommendation: full system replacement. In 1974, an industrial chemist named Dr. Eugene Hartwell submitted a formal report to the Senate Subcommittee on Housing and Urban Affairs. His report, titled Chemical Maintenance Alternatives in Residential Plumbing Infrastructure, presented data from 14 years of field testing across municipal and residential pipe systems. Hartwell's conclusion was precise. In 79% of residential pipe systems diagnosed for replacement, chemical descaling would restore full functional capacity at less than 1% of the replacement cost. The report was received, logged into the congressional record, and never acted upon. No hearing was scheduled. No manufacturer was called. No trade association was questioned. The document exists today in the National Archives. It has been accessed fewer than 200 times in 50 years. Meanwhile, the numbers kept growing. By 2024, the U.S. plumbing services industry was valued at $170 billion annually, according to IBIS World Industry Data. The single most profitable transaction in that ecosystem remained the full house repipe, averaging $7,500 nationally, climbing to $15,000 in California and the Northeast. 70% of that cost is labor. The pipe material itself is secondary. The diagnosis that leads to that quote is the product. And that diagnosis was designed inside a curriculum that stopped teaching alternatives in 1961. That is not a conspiracy. That is just economics. In 2022, a homeowner named Gary Tesler in Tucson, Arizona, received a repiping quote of $9,200 from 2 separate licensed plumbing contractors. Both told him the same thing. His pipes were too corroded to save. His water pressure had dropped to nearly half its original output. His water heater was taking 40 minutes to deliver hot water to the second floor. Gary was 58 years old, retired, and had no intention of writing a $9,200 check. So he started researching. 6 weeks later, after a single citric acid treatment that cost him $4.80 in total, his water pressure was fully restored. His water heater recovered in under 20 minutes. He never called a plumber again. What Gary used was food-grade citric acid powder, available in the canning and baking section of any major grocery store. The method he followed was straightforward, requiring no special tools, no professional knowledge, and no pipe removal of any kind. The entire process from start to finish took 26 hours, including the overnight soak period. Here's exactly what the process looks like for standard residential home. First, the main water supply valve is shut off completely, typically located near the water meter or at the point where the main line enters the home. Every faucet in the house is then opened to drain all remaining water from the pipe system. Once the system is empty, all faucets are closed. A solution is then mixed using 2 tablespoons of food-grade citric acid powder per 1 gallon of hot water. For a standard 3-bedroom home, approximately 6 to 8 gallons of solution is sufficient to fill the pipe network completely. The solution is introduced into the system by disconnecting the cold water inlet hose from the water heater and using a small transfer pump, available for under $15 at any hardware store, to push the citric acid solution into the pipe network from that entry point. The water heater tank itself is filled along with the rest of the system, as scale buildup on the heating element is often the single largest source of energy loss and pressure reduction in the entire home. Once the system is full, every faucet is closed and the solution is left to work undisturbed for 12 to 24 hours. After the soak period, the main supply valve is reopened and every faucet in the house is opened simultaneously. The system is flushed for 15 to 20 minutes. The water that exits first will run brown, orange, or yellow, carrying decades of dissolved calcium, iron oxide, and mineral sediment out of the pipe walls and through the tap for the first time. Once the water runs fully clear, the process is complete. Total material cost for Gary Tesler's treatment was $480. Annual maintenance using the same method costs under $6 per year. The industry alternative was $200. The pipe was never the problem. The maintenance was just economics.